And it looks as though the moment has arrived. You have seen them before the 100,000 crowd has seen them. But now the whole of Wembley is tense and ready to greet the two teams who fought their way to this 1974 Cup final, and now they see them. The emotion is there for all to see. McFaul waving to the Newcastle supporters. Jackie, you wanted another word?
Yeah, I was just going to say, if there's any tension in the lads, the time they felt it was just as they came out of that tunnel when they hit the crowd. That's the time when the butterflies start to lift and the heart starts to pound a little bit more, and I think this is really what it's all about. This is the day. Now they're starting to relax and they'll wave to their people and they'll throw the balls around and they'll wish they could get on and kick the ball into the goals and really start feeling it. But they start relax from onwards.
The Newcastle wives are there, gaily rosetted. They've chosen their dresses, they've chosen their outfits, and most of them look to be, as you would expect, black and white. And there's Bobby Moncur, the Newcastle captain. And now here's Her Royal Highness the Princess Anne with the Captain Mark Phillips, with the dignitaries of the Football Association, with Sir Andrew Stephen, Chairman of the Football Association, there with them. Presented to her by skipper Hughes. Giving Keegan and Callaghan the Footballer of the Year. Keegan looking so relaxed there. 3 years ago this day that he joined Liverpool from Scunthorpe for what seemed an incredible £35,000 when you look at just what he's done in the last 3 years. Peter Cormack, Chris Lawler the substitute, Phil Thompson, John Toshack, the big man who'll be so dangerous in the air, and last in line, there he is again, the one and only Bill Shankly. Captain Mark Phillips and Ted Croker, the Secretary of the Football Association there. Bobby Moncur now presenting his Newcastle side, Frank Clark and John Tudor. Well, there must be a proud moment then for the Newcastle wives. Coming towards Joe Harvey there. I know Joe was a little worried about that suit that he bought for this occasion. He thought it was a little too trendy for him. I think he bought it at Malcolm McDonald's shop. And I must say he looks very, very smart, and again looking very relaxed indeed. And Gordon Kew, the referee behind him there. The pinnacle, of course, of all refereeing ambitions, to take charge of a cup final. Newcastle looking very spruce indeed in some lovely purple tracksuits with yellow facings. Thompson, one of the lads in the centre of the field. A lot of people are wondering just how he is going to cope with this occasion and with the menace of the likes of Malcolm McDonald and John Tudor. Thoughtful pose there from Bill Shankly. He played as a winner and as a loser at Wembley. He's brought teams here that have won and have lost. But now the moment, Jack, that the players will enjoy when they can flex their muscles. Before we bring Jack in, here are the two teams, exactly as we expected and as was forecast in the papers this morning. The only decision really that had to be taken was the Liverpool substitute, and it's Chris Lawler, a tremendously loyal and wonderful servant of the Liverpool club, a full-back who really in his time has scored his quota of goals as well. It's Lawler who gets the substitute's berth in place of Phil Boersma. The photographers already beginning to gather around that centre circle, waiting for that traditional picture of the two skippers tossing. That'll be Emlyn Hughes and Bobby Moncur, and I'm glad to see that Newcastle have decided to wear a strip with the numbers that are clearly shown. Bobby Moncur, who is the only one so far to have taken his tracksuit top off, and you can see, maybe if we can get a picture of Moncur. Well, you'll see it when Malcolm McDonald takes that shirt off. Newcastle have those two styles of shirts, ones where it's difficult to see the numbers, which is important for everybody in the Wembley crowd, but that is as plain as a pikestaff. So now we get to the toss-up. Bobby Moncur, Gordon Kew, Emlyn Hughes is waiting. Jackie Child has just noticed that both goalkeepers are wearing gloves. Well, the teams are going to change over there. Jack Wiser, is it a bit greasy out there, do you think?
It seems to be. It's an unusual thing to see goalkeepers in a Wembley Cup final, especially at the kick-in, wearing gloves. Sometimes they like to feel the ball once the game has started and then decide whether they need them or not. But to start the game, it means the ground must be a little bit slippy and a bit of dew on the top.
Clemence there has had a brilliant season in goal for Liverpool. Bright green jersey for those of you watching in black and white. Liverpool, of course, all in their famous red. Newcastle in black and white stripes and black shorts. The goalkeepers, there's a great trade union amongst goalkeepers, and a nice handshake between McFaul and Clemence before the start. So now we are but seconds away from the start of the 1974 FA Cup final. It's Newcastle United who will be attacking the goal to our left, who will kick off. And away they go. So away go Newcastle United with a chance straight away there, pushed towards Malcolm McDonald. Hughes comes in for Liverpool and gives Ray Clemence that first feel of the ball. Notice how quickly Newcastle gave young Alan Kennedy a chance there to test his own reactions and test the ball and test the turf. Not a very good kick there by Clemence, but a handball given against Jim Smith. Keegan going hard and Moncur going very hard with him. Here's Lindsay. Clark getting in. And now Hughes. That's going to be a throw to Liverpool, which Alec Lindsay will take. Keegan busying himself. That's twice it's seen how close Moncur has stuck with Kevin Keegan. Malcolm Allison saying on our programme last night how important it is for somebody to mark Keegan very closely all the time. It looks as though that's going to be Bobby Moncur's responsibility. But a free kick now for Liverpool. Lindsay is with it, it is floated high. And Hibbitt is right back now to be able to gather it. Look for Pat Howard, who's inside him if he wants him. One or two of the Newcastle players wearing sweatbands. They obviously feel it's going to be pretty humid out there, although there's a fair nip in the air. Good piece of running there by McDermott, but the pass didn't quite reach Cassidy. So it's another throw to Liverpool. This time Tommy Smith will take it, playing in his third cup final to Callaghan, also playing in his third cup final. Smith crossing it in again now towards John Toshack. Howard gave him a yard or two there. Here's little Brian Hall, so busy, so effective. But stopped that time by Alan Kennedy. Had fewer than 20 first-team games, Alan Kennedy, but when he came into the side against Nottingham Forest, he showed such poise. Hibbitt with the throw. McDermott. Kennedy again, trying to seek out Tudor, but Peter Cormack was there. Again, these are moments in the game where the sides are really flexing their muscles, weighing up the opposition, trying to run the nerves out of their own bodies. There's the pull by Hibbitt, but both MacDonald and Tudor were caught offside. Here's Malcolm McDonald with 28 goals to his credit this season. 3 years next Tuesday was the day he joined Newcastle from Luton for £180,000. And what a tremendous investment that's turned out to be. Toshack's header, headed on by Heighway, Moncur turning well. Again Lindsay is in there, and again it's the Newcastle throw. McDermott will take it. Spotting Pat Howard. Hughes again in first, but Howard, the ball running for him a little bit there. Cassidy, played towards Tudor. And Thompson very carefully back to Clemence. Here's Hall in a lot of space. Callaghan. A throw to Liverpool. Leaving it for Smith. Young Phil Thompson. Thompson again. McDermott chasing hard across the field there, but Tommy Smith getting his pass in. McDermott again. And Hall couldn't quite keep that one. But Liverpool's throw, and here's Keegan. McDermott again getting in for Newcastle. The ball finally coming off Terry Hibbitt, and so it's another Liverpool throw. Kevin Keegan, and a goal kick then to Newcastle. McFaul, one of the shorter goalkeepers. He's only about 5'9½", Northern Ireland international. Good jump there by Malcolm MacDonald, sending Tudor on his way. Determination finding McDermott as Newcastle take it up. Jim Smith away on the right. Here's Smith. Played first time towards Tudor and too high, and Smith gets that one away. Tudor again. Cassidy. Back this time for Frank Clark. Played wide to keep possession, hopefully for Howard. He kept it in. Smith doing very well. Newcastle taking it up again. And taking it just a shade too far as Toshack now finds the busy stride of Keegan. One side of Hibbitt and then the other. And in goes Kennedy fearlessly there. A throw then to Liverpool. Smith will take it. Smith again. Howard heading it down only as far as Keegan. That wasn't a good header. Heighway. Kennedy almost got him, but Moncur was helping. Another throw to Liverpool. Callaghan. Good sweeping pass there. Inch perfect by Ian Callaghan to Alec Lindsay. Here's the cross coming in again towards Toshack. Can this be it? No! Just nodded away there beautifully, and it was young Alan Kennedy, the number 3, the most inexperienced player in the Newcastle side, who saved Newcastle there. Toshack allowed to go dangerously free in that 6-yard area. Liverpool's corner. Hall taking it. Another deep one towards Toshack. A foul by Toshack though on Pat Howard. McFaul caught out a little bit there, do you think, Jack?
Yeah, this was one of the problems we thought he might have. He tends to stick on his line a little bit. I felt he could have come and got that one and maybe put him under a bit more pressure. He was looking to get away with it because if it had been held down just a little bit more, it could have finished in the net.
So now Clark for Newcastle. Smith. Cassidy. Played again for Terry McDermott. Here's Jim Smith. Clark is away outside him. McDermott again. Could well be the driving force in the middle of the field, and what a good ball! Over the head of Smith to Hibbitt. Played in first time. Thompson getting down well to get it away. Hibbitt again. Callaghan. Heighway. Thompson. Good flowing movement there as he picks up Cormack. Heighway's on ahead, and so too is Keegan. On the left is Toshack. And that time Clark got it away. Hughes. Cormack. Heighway again. Foul there on the Heighway by Smith. Liverpool's free kick. Number 5, Peter Cormack, is going to take it. Now I can't think what Smith was doing there, kicking that ball away. And all that has happened is that Alec Lindsay has taken it on a few yards. Gordon Q will want to get in very quickly on that sort of thing. Hughes now. Keegan. Touched off again for Heighway. Lindsay had strayed into an offside position. Liverpool fans are way behind the lines, but not too happy with the decision.
I don't know if you've noticed, but Cormack hasn't had a kick yet. I would have thought he would want to get into the game a little bit quicker than in fact he has done.
Tudor forced to head it the wrong way, in fact. Cormack. Good piece of play by McDermott again. Tudor and Macdonald are up ahead of him, and on the right is Smith. Cross there from Smith towards Macdonald. Hibbitt is away behind him. It's still very dangerous there. It didn't quite go to Tudor. Lindsay doesn't quite know where it is, but now he does. And he finds Callaghan. Foul. And a free kick to Liverpool. Toshack. Cassidy just a fraction lucky there, but here's Hibbitt. And McDonald caught offside. Three of those 28 goals he scored this season have come from penalties. It's a nerve-wracking business taking penalties here. In fact, nerve-wracking it may be. It's odd to think, though, that a penalty has never been missed at Wembley in a cup final. Hughes with the kick to Liverpool. Cormack. Thompson back to Emlyn Hughes again. Look as though they've settled just a little quicker than Newcastle to Liverpool. Handball there given against Bobby Moncur, the Newcastle skipper. Spraying it round just a little more than Newcastle have been able to do so far, and here's little Brian Hall just keeping it in. And it's still not out of play. Heighway on the far side, linesman flagging maybe it was out of play. Do you get the impression, Jack, that Liverpool have settled down just a shade quicker than Newcastle?
Well, they've had more of the ball and more of the play, but every time Newcastle have broken, they've looked as if they were going to create something. It's one of those difficult things. It's about time that they did settle down. It takes 10 or 15 minutes, but it's just about the right time for them to do that.
Nice shot of a good humoured piece of refereeing there by Gordon Kew, making his point in the best possible way. McFaul with the kick. Tudor jumping well. But the linesman has spotted Malcolm McDonald offside again. Here's Tommy Smith. Oh, Moncur and Kennedy both going for the same ball and not really making much of it. Lindsay. Flicked in by Keegan towards Toshack. Good solid piece of defence though by Howard. And now it's with Hibbitt. McDermott. Oh, good, strong, fair challenge again there by Tommy Smith. With Brian Hall. Keegan again. This time Howard is close with him, and here's Toshack. And the throw given to Newcastle. Smith now for Liverpool. Oh, that'll fall for Jim Smith. Only Tudor is up though. Oh, he held off Lindsay so well there. Lindsay then finally attacking him quite savagely from behind. Hibbitt also getting in on Lindsay, and I think Alec Lindsay will be called back by the referee, as indeed I think he's got to be, Jackie.
Yeah, he was a little bit violent there, but it's a tension in the game, and you could see the ball, and he was trying to get to it. I don't think Alex, the type of player that would do anything without that was meant to hurt anybody at all.
But quite properly a free kick to Newcastle, which Howard will take. Slipping as he did so. That's still pretty greasy out there. Tudor couldn't get to it. Smith will be quite content to let Clemence dive in. Keegan again. In fact, he didn't make a contact there, but his darting little run just unsettled Newcastle. Callaghan again to Lindsay, and now for Emlyn Hughes. Heighway. Good piece of refereeing there, because although it looked as though it was a foul, Gordon Kew realised that Heighway had kept possession and wanted to keep the game moving. It's with Phil Thompson and now with Tommy Smith. Everybody now except Ray Clemence in the Newcastle half of the field, as Liverpool really come forward in some strength. Here's Cormack. Toshack in a bit of space on the far side. Can he get it over? No, but it's a corner off Bobby Moncur. Toshack will be the man that Keegan will aim for. Cormack is in there, number 5, but there's Toshack in fact getting a header to it, and Heighway just got his header to it as well, and Moncur, who had to belt it away. Thompson turned back in once more, and Toshack hadn't come back quickly enough, was offside.
I notice both teams are trying to play this offside, and it tends to worry me a little bit. Newcastle not so much as Liverpool. If Superman's going to do anything today, this is where he's going to cash in. They've got to be very careful that they don't get caught with this offside, Liverpool, because he's quick enough once he gets away to cause them all sorts of trouble.
It's a dangerous game for Liverpool to play. Thompson not quite getting ahead of that one, and Macdonald did, but still Newcastle in possession. There was a tigerish bit of play there by Ian Callaghan, determined to retain possession, as the ball comes now back to Ray Clemence. So a quarter of an hour gone. The tension really should be out of the muscles now to a large extent. We should now begin to see some flowing football, but still we've seen no goals. Thompson's good header. McDermott doing a lot of work already in the middle of the field, really busying himself. Here's young Alan Kennedy. McDermott wanted it again, but Hibbitt said, no, I'll take this one. So away goes Terry Hibbitt. Nice little ball there. Tudor tried a back heeler, but it wouldn't find Macdonald, and here's a chance now for Liverpool on the break. Hall now with Keegan outside him. Here's Kevin Keegan. And back comes Kennedy. The referee decided that was a foul. Kennedy thought that he played the ball, but he came back with such pace. It's a free kick then to Liverpool. And again, they might well be looking for Toshack. Smith is going to take it, and I think Gordon Q wants to insist that the Newcastle ball goes back the required 10 yards. Smith with the free kick then, towards the far post, and a good catch that time by Ian McFaul. And in the Scottish Cup final, there's also no score between Celtic and Dundee United. Free kick this time to Newcastle United. So Bobby Moncur will take this free kick for Newcastle United. High towards Macdonald, and a nice little flick dance there by Macdonald, and that almost got through. Clemence finally just getting down as Cassidy and Tudor went in there.
A bit unlucky here. He didn't get connection. There was a foot just went across him as he went to get it. The goalkeeper was very lucky to be able to pick that ball up there because he couldn't have seen it too quickly.
Emlyn Hughes, once that ball had been cleared, suffering a little bit with that right leg. What clues have you seen so far, Jackie?
Well, it's significant that the way they're playing Terry Hibbitt, as soon as he looks as if he's going to get the ball, they're forcing him to go across the field onto his right foot. This is good play. It's the way he always played Terry Hibbitt. He's such a tremendous left-footed player. The only time that he's going to cause him any danger if he's allowed to play these long balls, and it's cutting him inside all the time.
Here's that near miss again, Jackie.
A flick on from Mack, which he's always liable to do, and John Tudor is there again. He's the one that makes it. I think it's, who is it, Cassidy? Just didn't get a touch to it. But the goalkeeper, like I say, a little bit fortunate here to be in front of him there.
Good news for Liverpool that Emlyn Hughes is okay again, and Ray Clemence now will take this kick for them. Cormack's header. Toshack didn't quite get a header. Here's Cormack again, but now Smith for Liverpool, for Newcastle, with McDermott again making one of those windmill runs down the right for Newcastle. But again, that Liverpool defence shut tight again. Keegan first to react to that one, nodding it on. Toshack trying to get in behind Pat Howard. Liverpool's throw. Howard, who's had a rather checkered cup career, sent off, of course, in that match against Nottingham Forest. Good, strong defender, though. Here's Toshack. Out to Steve Heighway again. Trying to turn Clark one way, then the other, then getting onto that favourite left foot, turned in, and Toshack couldn't quite get to it. Smith couldn't quite get it in there, and Macdonald was right back deep in his own penalty area to hook that one away. Toshack acrobatically tried to get that ball in, missed only by a matter of inches. Back to Clark. So Newcastle's throw. Cassidy riding his luck there, but it ran out when he ran up against Alec Lindsay. McDermott to Cassidy. Nice curling ball there, straight to MacDonald, touched off for Tudor. MacDonald offside.
This line is as sharp as a tack. He's not missed the trick yet. He's caught everybody offside. Exactly right. I thought MacDonald was just offside there, and the crowd complained.
So it comes again. Moncur versus Keegan there, and it goes over both of them to Toshack. Toshack now for Cormack. And that'll go quite aimlessly over for a Newcastle goal. Back to Iron McFaul, who really was one of the great Newcastle heroes in that semi-final against Burnley. 3 or 4 tremendous saves very late in the game. MacDonald, that'll come no for Smith. Tried to turn that wide and it was handball, and again the referee and linesman between them spotted that in an instant. So it's a free kick to Newcastle United from a position where they might be able to build something. Terry Hibbitt is going to be the man to take it. MacDonald and Tudor have both stayed wide on the right. Clemence wanting a little bit more cover, I think, on that far side, spotting that MacDonald and Tudor across there. Cassidy's made a run. It'll be a short pass, possibly. No, it's a little flick cross there towards Tudor, but it won't get to him. And away goes that scuttling run of Kevin Keegan. Moncur is the nearest Newcastle man to him. Heighway's made a good run as well, so too has Cormack, and he let that go, and Callaghan will keep this in. So it's Callaghan now for Liverpool. A deceptive looking cross there, but it was well taken again by Iron McFaul. And a good throw, an intelligent throw that sends McDermott on his way. Tudor. And away goes MacDonald on the far side. McDermott is down and injured onto the left boot. Great run there by Terry McDermott after a good intelligent throw out by McFaul. I must say, after that, I think we've got a scoreline from Hampden Park which says that Celtic have gone into the lead against Dundee United by 1-0 after 18 minutes. The scorer, Dixie Deans. Great run here by McDermott, and there's the challenge, Jack.
This is one of his good points, Terry McDermott. He's a good, tremendous runner with the ball. I felt there that he might, if he had slid that inside and gone inside, he would have found a gap that he could have played the ball across to Terry Hibbitt, but he decided to go right instead. And unfortunately, they didn't come off for him. But it was a good move by him.
It was a clumsy challenge there by Thompson, and not a vicious one by any
No, it
means.
wasn't a vicious. He played the ball just a little bit too far in front of him and lost control for a split second. I'm a bit surprised at the way Newcastle have played it. I thought at the beginning that they were going to pick up Toshack and Keegan man for man, but in fact they aren't. They've swapped it around a little bit and have taken whichever man comes into their area at the time. This, I think, is probably the best way to play it, because Kevin Keegan moves around the field to such an extent, all over the park, that it would be hard for one man to stick with him.
And certainly the Newcastle goalkeeper, Ian McFaul, having looked a little unsure of himself early on, has made one or two very good catches.
Yeah, he's come out and taken balls that were his. The first one he slept on, but I'm glad to see Ian's got it together now, and I think he's got the confidence to come and do it all again now, and this will be a great out to Newcastle at the back.
Well, good news for Newcastle is that Terry McDermott, tremendous competitor in the middle of the field, is all right again. It's a throw on the far side, which MacDonald is taking now for Newcastle. Moncur had gone up, but Cormack beat them all in the air. Alec Lindsay away to Steve Heighway, back to Ian Callaghan, and it's a Newcastle throw. Just coming up to 25 minutes gone, still no score. Not taken from the right place, so Peter Cormack will have to take it again. Just inside his own half. He's picked up Keegan. Now it's Cassidy for Newcastle. Played for Kennedy. Oh, hit Hall right in the face. That was a knockout blow. Absolutely smack in the face. Poor old Brian Hall. That really is headache time. And I would have thought that he might well want Brian Hall, if he wants treatment, to go off the field. Yes, he is. There it is, smack in the face. That really hurt. So it's another throw to Liverpool. To Newcastle instead. Tudor. Now Hall. Good strong challenge there, and an unfair challenge though by Alan Kennedy. Another free kick to Liverpool. Tommy Smith. There's the man he lay for, John Toshack. Pat Howard keeping anxious eyes on him, and Bobby Moncur and Frank Clark getting in. In fact, it was Clark who got the header to that one. Play on, says referee Q, and Hughes finds Hall. Flicked on again towards Toshack. This could be dangerous. No, Moncur and McFaul both going for it. And Hibbitt, though, good defensive header there in a way by Moncur. At least he got a bit of height and gave people a bit of time to think what had to happen next. And now could this be the break? No. It's a free kick to Liverpool.
I think Gordon Hughes has been a bit unfair to Newcastle twice there. They're two good challenges, and he's penalised them twice.
Howard getting up well, and that time it was Kennedy who hooked it away again for Newcastle. The youngster really adapting himself very, very well indeed to this special Wembley occasion. Smith now. Clark towards Macdonald. And now Callaghan. And here's Hall. Again, Kennedy was in first. And here's Hibbitt. Inside for Smith. McDonald and Tudor again are up ahead of him. Cassidy is alongside him. It's the easy ball for him to play, but now McDermott has come up. Here's McDermott. Touch towards John Tudor. Flick back again for Hibbitt and hit first time, but Smith is there to bar the way. Kennedy again in first, well played. Smith now for Liverpool, for Newcastle. Lindsay. Good play by him, and a bad pass at the end of him, giving Newcastle possession again. And again it's this fellow McDermott. There's the cross by him towards John Tudor. And now can Hibbitt make something of this? Crossed in again there. Clemence must catch that one, and he does. Well, a slip there by Kennedy, and there's Callaghan. Touch through again, and an offside up. Flag on the far side. Play on though, says the referee. Let's keep it moving. Cassidy. Smith letting it go through his legs to Bobby Moncur. About the first time that Moncur has ventured across the halfway line. Well, I hope it was good humoured. It looked it. Hibbitt and Thompson. The referee had a little bit of trouble there, deciding himself whether it was good humoured or not. Decided that it was.
No, I don't think it was good humoured, actually. Terry lost his leg a little bit there. It was unfortunate because it could have been good humoured.
Smith heading that one away. And now Cormack. Lindsay. Long raking pass, and Howard will get there first to turn it back for McFaul. Smith for Liverpool. Hall. Thompson to Lindsay on the far side. And there's McDermott, but maybe Keegan can take advantage of this one. There's the cross by Keegan, and again McFaul has caught it, and caught it well. Not only that, it's a good throw that finds Hibbitt. Cassidy. McDermott. Macdonald looking for a bit of space on this far side, combining there nicely. Well, it looked at first as though it might be nicely with Hibbitt. The ball going off Tommy Smith for Newcastle's throw. Celtic now 2 goals ahead. Steve Murray having scored the second one. Here it's still 0-0. And here's McDermott again. A nice pass there by him to Hibbitt. Completely altering the direction of the play, but McDonald is up there. Tudor is going in, hopefully. So half an hour gone, Liverpool 0, Newcastle 0. A cup final really that's had a scarcity of goal-mouth incidents as well. Howard turning it back again to McFaul. Kennedy. Cassidy. Well, he's ridden that challenge by Callaghan. Back to Kennedy again. Stabbed on here for Hibbitt. Kennedy leaving it this time for Cassidy. Hibbitt. This time for Smith. McDermott in a nice position outside him. Now it's with Terry McDermott. Clark. A lot of passes and not too much ground being made, but now there's a good-looking pass there as Clark comes in, but the shot really has got no power.
Newcastle seemed to be taking a long time in the build-up. They had a lot of good passes strung together there, but they never really went anywhere. It was only when they opened the play out that they looked as if they might get something.
Hibbitt. Smith. And offside again. Well, the Newcastle fans weren't happy with that, and behind the goal they're shouting, although there's no way they could have told. And as Jackie said, the linesman has been excellent this afternoon. Moncur aiming to be in first. Well, he's considered, what is it, a push behind him? No, it wasn't, it's a throw. I thought he was saying a foul there by Moncur, but it wasn't. Here's Smith now. The cross again. He'll get another chance. Hibbitt. Thompson. Now Callaghan. Keegan. Play towards Toshack. Cassidy in there. Here's this fellow McDermott again. Having a tremendous game, Terry McDermott. Agree, Jack?
Yeah, Terry's having a good game today. He's got to start. He's the only one that's prepared to release the ball forward quickly enough to get these Newcastle people going.
Well, here's MacDonald. A little touch off this time for Hibbitt. A deep across this time towards Jim Smith, who's got again McDermott up there with him. That was a little ball played for McDermott, but he didn't quite read it. Callaghan now, with Heighway outside him. Keegan up ahead of him, and there's Howard's header. Howard again, and now Keegan. Good piece of reaction play there by Heighway. And he's got past Howard this time. Here comes the cross, and Toshack is going in there. McFaul didn't know where it was. Again, McFaul under a lot of pressure from the big man Toshack, but now Newcastle take it away with MacDonald. Now Toshack again, this time Kennedy got in. Now it's Kennedy. High and hopeful again once more towards MacDonald, been so well looked after by this Liverpool back four, he and Tudor so far. Here's Smith, again with the cross. Well, it was a bad one. Toshack. Kennedy. Hibbitt. Cassidy. Oh, a nutmeg on Heighway, but it goes nicely there for Callaghan. Howard away. Hall now for Liverpool. Crossed again towards Toshack, nodded down there towards Keegan, and Moncur, as cool as you like, getting it out of trouble again for Newcastle. Even the willing McDermott couldn't quite get to that one. Here's Hall. I say with 35 minutes gone, still no score. And the two big guns up front for Newcastle, Tudor and MacDonald, really have not been in the game yet.
They've had a little chance to get in the game. The build has been much too slow by Newcastle. If they're going to get the effectiveness of these two going, they've got to play the ball forward and through a lot quicker than in fact they're doing. Malcolm McDonald and John Tudor are making the runs, but the ball just isn't coming and they're being caught offside by him to check.
So who is that down to, Jack?
Well, it's got to come from the Newcastle midfield. They're the ones that are playing it square. Liverpool are doing a lot to stop it because they're getting inside people like Terry Hibbitt and not allowing him to play the ball where he wants to play it.
Well, here's Tommy Smith again now for Liverpool. Is that a little push? No, Keegan is in there trying to make something of it. There's Toshack. Tried carefully to place that to keep his cool, but he was away off the mark. But there was a deflection that gives Newcastle a little more pressure on them because Liverpool have the corner. Callaghan now with the cross. Toshack again on the far side. Moncur getting it away. Keegan going in there as competitive as ever. That time Tudor, in fact, nearly had his head kicked off, did Tudor there, by Frank Clark.
Liverpool look to be a little bit more dangerous when they play hitting the target man in the middle. When they've hit balls through with John Toshack and Kevin Keegan and things could come off them for each other, they've looked positively dangerous, but they seem to be playing the ball wide and hoping to get around the outside. I don't think they're going to be successful with that today.
So Clark to take it up again for Newcastle. Cassidy. Kennedy to Hibbitt. Good little bit of dribbling there by Terry Hibbitt. That's too far behind MacDonald, and it didn't reach Tudor. But here's Clark to keep the momentum going for Newcastle. The cross again, and Tommy Smith all the time in the world to guide it back there to Ray Clemence. Thompson to Smith. Hall to Keegan. Desperately looking for a yard or two of space was Keegan there, and Howard denied it to him all along the line. Slow build-up business seems to be catching now with Liverpool. But here's Cormack. Cross quickly there, and Heighway and Toshack couldn't really get in there to make the decisive touch themselves. Now it's with Hall. Crossed in again there towards Kevin Keegan. A little back heeler. Oh, and McDermott had a little bit of luck there. But here's Cassidy. On to McDermott again. Flicked on this time for John Tudor. Thompson is there with him. MacDonald is away in the middle, and he tries to run him. And it's a goal kick. Could never be anything else.
That little run of John Tudor's there just shows that Thompson is not as slow as people say. You know, he had the opportunity, John Tudor, to really go into the space behind, but he was matched all the way.
Foul there by Howard on Toshack, a little push in the back, right in front of the referee's eyes. So Liverpool get another free kick. Hughes has taken it. Lindsay and Heighway. Crossed again towards Toshack, and McFaul missed that punch, but here's Hibbitt again. Oh, and he slipped, and that left's all in. Keegan on the far side, just a couple of inches too high for him. And there's Heighway with the shot. And finally McDermott will bring it away to safety for Newcastle, with Hibbitt still lying injured. Smith. Oh, did brilliantly there against Cormack. Crossed inside there towards Tudor, but Brian Hall had come hustling back, and Hibbitt still in trouble. John Toshack with a backward header. Here's Toshack again. Played now for Kevin Keegan. Howard only getting it as far away as Brian Hall, so Keegan gets another chance. Little dummy there, which almost fooled Pat Howard, and here's Callaghan, and they're playing around the prostrate body of Terry Hibbitt, and so Gordon Kew really had to stop it.
I don't really think Gordon Kew knew he was injured, you know. He was looking all over the park. It was only when he really turned to watch that attack build up that he saw Terry lying there.
Rather a mixed day so far for Ian McFaul. He started shakily, he caught one or two very good ones, and he was caught with his punching not too decisive just a couple of minutes ago, which might have been dangerous against Toshack.
Yeah, but he's coming and putting him under challenge, which is the important thing. You can't allow John Toshack to have a go at people on crosses without being put under challenge by Ian McFaul. He's got the ball away twice from very difficult crosses that if he had stayed on his line he could have been in trouble with. I think he's done very well to come for those, actually, and I'm glad he's doing it.
The Newcastle substitute, Tommy Gibb, warming up more as a formality, I think, than anything else. Just warming up should Terry Hibbitt. Here's the thing coming up now, the incident coming up. Yes, it's twisting his foot on this Wembley turf, which has happened so often before, tragically to so many cup final stars.
That looked as if it could have been his knee ligaments,
and that
actually.
looks as though it might be trouble for Newcastle, Jack.
Yeah, it will be on Terry. He's certainly carrying it badly there. And it doesn't look as if it's one of those that he's going to walk off very easily either.
Well, that could be a real turning point in this cup final. Cassidy. And away goes Cassidy again. McDermott. And now Howard. McDermott again. And Howard again. Well, a fairly aimless pass that, and it's another throw to Liverpool. Doesn't look good for Hibbitt. You know, he's moving just perhaps a fraction easier now, Jack, is he?
Yeah, I don't know. He's not a lad easily injured, Terry. You know, he takes it up pretty well. He must be hurt for to be carrying on like this, especially in the cup final.
Here we are with Cassidy. To Smith. Cassidy again, and Smith again. MacDonald and Tudor are poised in the middle, and here's Frank Clark coming up to add a bit of strength, but strength wasn't enough there to get past Cormack. Smith again, having a good and useful game for Newcastle this afternoon. Kennedy testing out Hibbitt again, but all Hibbitt wants to do is receive it and get rid of it fairly quickly, and here's Malcolm McDonald. Crossed in again there, and Lindsay giving Clemence time to come out. One minute to go now to half-time. Here's Hibbitt again. Oh yes, he's beginning to move just a little easier now. That was a cheeky little back heel, which is a good sight for all Newcastle fans. Moncur planting it forward again to Malcolm McDonald. Tudor didn't react to that one, and then recovered quickly enough and finds McDermott. On the far side is Smith, and he's got a bit of space to play with. Can measure his cross, which he does now, but his measurements were wrong.
The Newcastle crosses in this game from that right-hand side of the field have been woeful. I've never seen so many bad crosses with people with enough time to put them into places where they wanted them to go and not being able to do it.
A push again on Toshack by Howard. Another Liverpool free kick. So in the last seconds of the first half. Are Liverpool going to get one now that could be so decisive? Still 0-0 as Callaghan floats another one in. Howard is there, and McFaul had to go down. In fact, it came off Pat Howard. Moncur, Cassidy. Played inside this time for Kennedy, played on for Hibbitt, and back again for Kennedy, and back again for Hibbitt. Here's Cassidy and Smith. An unfair challenge that time by Heighway. It'll be a free kick to Newcastle. Here's Smith. Planted forward. MacDonald is onside this time. Got Tudor in the middle if the cross can come over. It's a low one and cut out by Tommy Smith. Hall jinking his way past Hibbitt, who didn't feel that he could make the challenge with that knee injury so fresh behind him. Keegan, back for Callaghan, but a good, firm challenge again by Smith. Here's Lindsay though for Liverpool. Keegan in a little bit of space. Still with Keegan, a little flick there for Hall. Now Hall can get this over, right across the face of that Newcastle goal. Cormack turning it back in again, and that time Cassidy, who's taking a lot of responsibility in the middle of the field, getting it away, and McDermott the high swinging pass, but it won't come to Hibbitt. Smith recovering with great calm assurance there for Liverpool. Callaghan, and just look at the space on the far side now for Heighway. Moncur is trying to stop him, and Heighway crosses it again, and that could so easily have been an own goal. Somehow Howard got that one away, could so easily have gone in. So some good breaks by Liverpool rather, in the last seconds of this first half. I think they think that the half-time whistle has gone, but it hasn't yet. Everybody's gone off the bench, and they're all going to have to go back again. Even the goalkeeper, Clemence, who'd come way outside his penalty area, had to go back. You can see all the officials on the far side there going back as well to their seats. Still a few seconds to go. Moncur leaping there. But now the whistle has gone, I think, for half-time. Will Terry Hibbitt come out refreshed in the second half after that injury? A half-time score then. After maybe slightly disappointing first half, a lack of real exciting goal-mouth incidents. But a half-time score then that reads Liverpool 0, Newcastle 0. The scene now switches to Wembley, with the three officials coming out before the two teams for the start of this second half. Well, the other members of the panel had their say, Jack, during that half-time interval about the way they think it should go, and again Malcolm made this very strong point about Liverpool playing the offside trap, which in fact could catch them out with MacDonald. But how do you see the second half going now?
Well, I think Joe Harvey will tell them they've got to stop messing about in the middle of the park with the ball, and they've got to knock the ball through for the runners to chase. If they're going to catch Liverpool with the way that Liverpool play offside, this is the only way they're going to do it. And the two strikers in Newcastle have been obsolete in this half. The only twice they've been brought into the game they caused danger, and I think they've got to do it a lot more of this. I think the Liverpool midfield are going to tire a little bit because we've done a tremendous amount of running, and I think it'll give the Newcastle midfield a little bit more time to select where they want to put the ball, but they've got to do it quickly.
Well, there's the man who's been doing the talking at half-time, Joe Harvey, and it's good to see that Terry Hibbitt is indeed back on the field for Newcastle. So the songs are beginning to come up all around Wembley Stadium again as this 1974 Cup final goes into its second 45 minutes. Extra time will be played if it's necessary, and then if there's a replay, that replay will be on Wednesday at Wembley. So it's Liverpool then who get us away in the start of the second half now, attacking the goal to our left, and here is Hibbitt straight away. Thompson in, Hall in for Liverpool, and a free kick to Liverpool straight away. In fact, Hall taking it some 7 or 8 yards from where referee Gordon Pugh wanted it to be taken. And then Hughes now for Liverpool. Keegan turning it there towards Toshack, and back now for Cormack. On for Keegan to get in the shot. Oh, just across the face of that goal again. But a good, concise and a sharp build-up there by Liverpool on the edge of that Newcastle penalty area. And Keegan's shot really rocketing across the face of that goal. Hibbitt. And I think that's going to be a Newcastle throw if in fact it does go out of play. It doesn't though. Thompson and MacDonald having a battle of their own, and MacDonald holding Thompson back. There's Toshack away again. No penalty, nothing given there on the edge of that Newcastle area as he was challenged by Bobby Moncur. Throw to Newcastle United. Cassidy doing well there. There's the run now for Malcolm McDonald. Across by him, Tudor is waiting in there, but so too is Clemence. The throw out to Tommy Smith. Callaghan up ahead of him, galloping on. But instead it's Keegan. Smith again. Callaghan. And there's Cormack right in there trying to get the volley. And finally it was McDermott once again who got it away. Lindsay going in and McFaul getting nicely behind that one.
It's significant again, Liverpool are starting hitting this target man in the middle and have created two good chances from it. And that happened just the same way again then.
Thompson to Smith. And that time McDermott was in. Hibbitt is there looking for it as well, but it's McDermott now for Newcastle. Now Hibbitt. Played on to Cassidy. Well, that's a Newcastle throw with Tommy Smith rather sore with himself for that. Hibbitt, Cassidy. Now Hall. Smith. Toshack, glancing header, but nobody was there to get on the end of it for Liverpool. Hughes is up as well. And now Smith. To McDermott and played on, hopefully towards Macdonald. Clark to Cassidy. Making good use of that space there, trying to get Tudor on his way, but that time Phil Thompson was there. Did well for Liverpool, and Hall is right back there to take it up for them. Smith. Cassidy robbing the former Liverpool captain, Tommy Smith, and finding Terry McDermott. Malcolm McDonald. Back for Cassidy. Smith. Clark. McDermott again. With Jim Smith away outside him in a lot of space. Now Smith. Played inside for McDermott, but Hughes had spotted that so well. And here's Heighway, a good pass. Now will Heighway keep that in? No, he can't. Heighway disagrees, but the linesman is quite adamant about it. Moncur to Cassidy. McDermott now to Clark. Smith for Newcastle, stopped there with a good challenge by Lindsay. Now this could be a devastating break for Liverpool. Lindsay going on, Keegan trying a dummy. Lindsay again! Oh, what a goal! Alec Lindsay! No, it's disallowed! Disallowed! It will not stand. Linesman on the far side is flagging. Lindsay must have been offside. It stays 0-0. There's the most disappointed Alec Lindsay.
I don't actually think it was Alec Lindsay that we'll find was offside here. When he played the ball and the dummy came on, there's a player at the back who was probably offside.
It was Keegan there offside, I think.
No, it was Alec Lindsay who was offside. Yeah, it was. He was offside.
Well, offside it was. The goal disallowed. Well, the referee not the most popular man, but his linesman was the man who flagged, and he felt that he was right. I have a feeling that Keegan was offside in the first instance, and Jack was pretty sure that Lindsay was offside in the second. Now it's Callaghan to Smith. Toshack is in there. Cormack. An unfair challenge by Tudor being called to the referee. It's really out of character of John Tudor to make that sort of challenge. I'm sure it wasn't a malicious one.
I think he thought the ball was going to come through a lot faster than it did. The ball bounced and checked just a little bit, and I don't think he really intended to get the player.
So Hughes will take the free kick, a little floater in there. Moncur getting up well. Cormack, and a goal kick. So McFaul, having had that ball blasted past him, must be very relieved indeed to see it was knocked off. Lindsay with a tremendous shot. Good jump there by John Tudor. Smith claiming it was handball, the referee agreeing. A free kick to Newcastle. Clark will take the free kick for Newcastle. Floated in again. Tudor is in there. Good safe catching again by Clemence though.
Liverpool have certainly settled down to a better pattern this half, and they really look the most dangerous side of the two now. Newcastle don't seem to be stringing anything together at all. It's a bit unfortunate that goal didn't stand for Liverpool, because I felt at the time it was a good build-up and a good goal, and it was unfortunately it appeared just a yard offside.
Well, there's another build-up coming, but I don't think Keegan will keep that in. Has he? No, he hasn't. No, the linesman was flagging. Even if Toshack had turned that in, it wouldn't have counted. Kevin Keegan just failed to keep that ball in. Here we go again now. Did that ball cross the line? It has to be completely over. Well, what do you think?
No, it didn't cross the line. I thought the linesman was a bit premature on that one. The ball's got to be completely over, and I think if they can allow it to stay in, they've got to do to keep the game flowing. They spoiled a perfectly good Gurmoff incident there by a decision that wasn't right.
Toshack, a backward header. Callaghan again. And good play there by Smith. Kennedy. Oh, he's given Hibbitt no chance there. Cormack. Played wide again for Hall. Toshack again lurking in the middle, and so is Heighway. So is Keegan. And offside again. The two managers sitting together there talking to each other. Joe Harvey and Bill Shankly.
If I was Joe Harvey, I'd be a little bit worried at the moment, because his team's not playing at all. It's one of those unfortunate things about Newcastle. Fortunate things about Newcastle. They've had so much luck in the cup this year. They haven't had a break at goals really in this game, and just think they could have one break and win it, when really Liverpool should have the game won by now.
Well, certainly the Liverpool fans sense that they're going to win the cup. That's what they're singing at the moment, but it still stands at 0-0. Smith, beaten though by Hibbitt. And Hibbitt again, taking a nice little pass there from Smith. Here's Jim Smith again, played on for MacDonald, he's onside, but too much ground to make up.
Again, the ball's coming through much too slowly there. Malcolm McDonald must have been waiting to go for about 5 or 6 seconds there, and the ball didn't come.
Pushed by Clark on Heighway. Liverpool's free kick. So Lindsay will take this free kick. A little chip there towards Keegan, but again Cassidy was right in there for Newcastle. Clark getting it away, but Hughes is the red figure who turns it back once more. Here's Moncur from one skipper to another. Smith again. Moncur, and now Hibbitt. Played for Cassidy. Has he shown too much of that? Yes, Liverpool take possession again, and it's with Lindsay. Played on for Callaghan. Heighway absolutely begging for the ball on the left touchline, and here he is. Played back for Callaghan. Liverpool now slowly but surely beginning to take command, but as yet can't find the goal that really matters. Here's Hall. A little cross again. Toshack going in on that one. And McDermott for Newcastle. Oh, and he's given that straight to Lindsay. So Clark puts it out. Liverpool get a throw. And Newcastle at the moment looking just a little disorganised. Here's Hall. And now a chance for Keegan. And that's it! Keegan has scored for Liverpool. That one stands and Clemence is happy. McFaul just got his hand to it, but he couldn't stop it. And that is the breakthrough. Keegan, top scorer. 18 goals this season. Jack.
Well, he was allowed a little bit of room here. He had a lot of time to get control of his ball and finally get his shot in. Room that really he shouldn't have had. McFaul was unlucky not to save it, but it was a good shot. And I think justice has been done. Liverpool have taken the lead at a time when they deserved it.
So Liverpool leading a goal to nil. 13 minutes into the second half. And the red flags and banners are everywhere around Wembley. No, the whistle had gone, it's a free kick. So Keegan has done it. The superstar in this Liverpool side has made that vital breakthrough. 3 years ago to the day that he joined Liverpool, he has put them ahead in the FA Cup final. Another free kick. Bill Shankly, Reuben Bennett, Bob Paisley are all there. Now Hughes. Oh, just over that crossbar. Now Tudor to take it up for Newcastle. Here's Malcolm McDonald, but 4 red shirts are converging on him. There's a foul there and it's a free kick to Newcastle United. One of their players down and injured, I think it's John Tudor. So there's so much now for Newcastle to do.
That Newcastle free kick, the one that nearly scored there from Hughes, just signified Newcastle aren't doing the job right at all now. They're being slow to pick up their men. They're not getting to the ball and attacking it the way they should. They're blaming each other for what's happening. I think they've got to settle down if they're going to get back into this game.
Hibbitt now will take the free kick for Newcastle. Played wide this time to Frank Clark. But so many red shirts are back and there are 2 of them blocking that one out. And it's not even a corner for Newcastle. It comes off Clark eventually and goes behind for the goal kick. A quarter of an hour of the second half gone. There's the scorer, Kevin Keegan. Clark with a header. McDermott beaten in the air by Cormack, and now it's Heighway again for Liverpool. Clark getting it not really away though, because Heighway is still there, prepared to let it go over. In fact, it's a free kick. A push in the back by Clark on Heighway. And so it's another Liverpool free kick. Heighway with a kick. McDermott a quite comfortable header away, but he only gets it to Callaghan. Phil Thompson, Emlyn Hughes, and a long, long way back. Kennedy, Tommy Smith, and now Brian Hall for Liverpool. Keegan tried to get a dummy going. I think the ball would have gone out of play in any case because it was hit with a good deal of force. Cassidy, the long ball there towards Malcolm McDonald. Hughes, beautifully timed defence and a good header away by Emlyn Hughes.
That's the sort of ball Newcastle have got to start using, though. It put Emlyn under a tremendous amount of pressure to do a good thing there, which he produced. But Malcolm, those are the sort of balls you've got to give him if you're going to get anything out of him.
Toshack winning it in the air. Keegan is there again, and that came off Bobby Moncur and behind for the corner. Keegan now really beginning to busy himself and enjoy this cup final. Brian Hall will again take the corner. Toshack again, or Cormack are the men he's going to aim for. There's the big number 10, Toshack. Just in fact got his head to it. Looked like handball, but it was ball hitting hand, says the referee. Not intentional. Hughes, Lindsay. Here's the cross again. That time Moncur with a flying header to get it away. Cassidy, Hibbitt away on the outside, and that was a better looking ball if it had got through. Thompson stopped it, but that was the sort of ball for MacDonald. Hall. Bad pass there, stopped by Frank Clark, and here's McDermott. Through for Smith. And MacDonald from time to time looking so frustrated because the ball isn't coming quickly enough to him.
The two Newcastle midfield players, Terry Hibbitt, and they look so not in charge of their game at all now, dispirited between the two of them, and they're not producing anything like the form that they're both capable of.
Toshack versus Moncur, and it's Moncur's ball. McDermott now with Clark. Good jump again there by Tudor. Now is McDermott on his way, faced by Alec Lindsay. He's still going on though, and that was obstruction by the Liverpool defender. So it's a free kick to Newcastle. The signal for the big men to come up. Howard is on his way up. Moncur is on his way up. There's Bobby Moncur. Smith will take the free kick. Well, that was a Newcastle player, Cormack, who was no more than about 6 yards away, but it gets Newcastle away, or rather Liverpool away, and Heighway a good 2 yards offside. If he could have disciplined himself and come back just a little further.
Actually, it was a very good run by him there. As he ran across the line of the players, he went back onside and went offside again, but there was only a split-second difference between what he'd been caught offside and not being caught offside. It was a tremendous run, and the sort that Malcolm McDonald have got to start doing for Newcastle.
Tudor homing in on this one, but Thompson got there first. Here's Thompson again. Hall keeping it in. And Liverpool at the moment quite worthily leading by a goal to nil. Now here's MacDonald. Smith with McDermott outside him. That's the ball for McDermott, and it's a good one too. Surprised how far Liverpool allowed that one to get across their 6 yard area. Now Smith. To Toshack. Cormack. And Heighway. Howard. Another fierce challenge there. And it's another free kick to Liverpool, which Peter Cormack is going to take. Lindsay, and a goal kick. Coming up to halfway through this second half, something like 23 minutes left. Liverpool leading by a goal to nil, scored by Keegan. Lindsay's header, Heighway. Now it's Hughes. Thompson. And Tommy Smith. Toshack. Brian Hall. Callaghan. Smith. Must be upwards of about 9 or 10 passes without Newcastle getting near it. Smith again, Keegan a touchback. Oh, and a tremendous shot there by Steve Heighway. 2 or 3 yards wide. Good accurate build-up there, Jack.
Excellent, actually. Good build-up, and then the final penetrating ball through a good lay back, and Stevie Heighway really connected with that one. It was, what, 3 or 4 yards wide. It could have fitted dead easy. A good build-up, one of the best moves we've seen in the game.
Macdonald, Tudor. Two men upon whom Newcastle pins so many hopes, Macdonald and Tudor, and here's McDermott. There's the cross again, but that's Clemence's ball, although he doesn't even need to get to it. And as Jackie was saying before half-time, the crossing by Newcastle from the right flank particularly has been abysmal.
If you're going to cross balls like that, you've got to put the goalkeeper under pressure, and you've got to go challenging for them. And there's times of cross balls that have put him under no pressure at all when they've been in good positions to do it.
Now it's Toshack again, having a much better cup final this time than he did in 1971 against Arsenal when he was pulled off in the second half. And Heighway's got a knock there. Here's the Heighway knock.
It was a good tackle. It was a clash of days, but it was a good tackle.
Now is Cormack going in. And on the far side is Hall, but he's offside. The whistle has gone.
Actually, Newcastle have been very lucky to get away with some of these offsides because they're not doing with any conviction at all. Some of them are playing it and some of them aren't playing it. Unlike Liverpool, who are all playing it. This is probably why they've been done as well at the back, Liverpool. They've done it together.
It's going to take a superhuman effort now for Newcastle to get back into this game, Jack. They do look a bit disorganised.
I'm sure it is.
Well, MacDonald might be one of the men to pull them back into it with a moment of genius, but doesn't look like it at the moment because Hall takes it up for Liverpool. Callaghan. Keegan. Little Brian Hall again. Yes, the linesman is flagging for handball against Hibbitt. Rather a late decision there. I'm bound to say I think it was the right one.
I think the people in Newcastle can sense as well that it's Liverpool's cup at the moment.
Well, here's Liverpool coming forward again with Peter Cormack. Keegan to Lindsay. I think Heighway will turn quickly enough for that, and Clark makes absolutely sure but has to give away the corner. Lindsay. And Cassidy now to break it away for Newcastle United. Tudor is in there, just a fraction too far ahead of him. Play on, says the referee, and Liverpool can take it up again, this time with Brian Hall. On the far side, Keegan is offside.
when you've got two teams playing offside like this, it tends to spoil a cup final.
Just thinking the same thing, Jack.
A lot of good moves that have been built up have been absolutely stopped dead because people are playing offside. I don't like to see it, and not to this extent anyway.
Tudor now to MacDonald. McDermott, now is this going to be a better cross? It's straight once more to Ray Clemence, and with his quick throw he can get Callaghan on his way. Keegan trying to dummy Kennedy and doing so. Now what's his crossing like? It's a better looking one towards John Toshack, and that put McFaul under pressure, but he managed it well enough. Smith, lovely glance pass there to Ian Callaghan. Really well in the driving seat at the moment, Liverpool. Moncur brought down rather clumsily though by Peter Cormack.
I've never seen John Tudor as ineffective as he has been in this game. Normally on crosses into the box, you would expect him to be in there challenging like he normally does in a game, but he hasn't made any contact at all in this game.
Now McDonald. Again McDermott making a good break. What a good ball from McDonald as well. And that cross going away for the corner to Newcastle. They've used McDermott far more on this right flank in this second half, Jackie.
Terry McDermott's made a lot of good runs from the centre of the field through. I feel if they're not going to get their two centre strikers up quick enough, so they're using him from the middle of the field, and he's done 2 or 3 good runs down this right-hand side, and he's been unfortunate that he's got nothing from it on a couple of occasions.
Well, here's the corner coming from Terry Hibbitt. MacDonald is right in there, but again Clemence dominating that 6-yard area. From Malcolm McDonald. The Newcastle substitute, Tommy Gibb, warming up now on the far side. I think we're going to get a Newcastle substitution fairly soon now. Moncur turning it back, and there wasn't too much time to spare. There's Gibb warming up. Well, Newcastle have just over a quarter of an hour left to save this cup final. Play on, says the referee, although it looked like handball against Hibbitt. Cassidy now to Clark. MacDonald fighting for that one and winning that one. McDermott now. Hibbitt played again to Malcolm McDonald. Tudor now is in the middle. Onto that left foot, he wants to get it. His strength, he hopes, will take him there. Hibbitt with a shot, but there's not a bit of power in that one. Kennedy.
It looks as if the substitute, when he comes on, might be for Terry Hibbitt, because he's carrying that leg just a little bit, and he's not getting involved in his game to the extent that I would have expected Terry Hibbitt to get involved in it. So I should imagine if the substitute does come on, that's where it will be.
Now just a quarter of an hour to go. Liverpool 1, the scorer Kevin Keegan, Newcastle 0. A backheader there by Toshack now for Heighway. Number 2, Steve Heighway. That's the one, I think. Shankly being hugged by the others on the bench. Heighway being mobbed. McFaul has to pick it out of the net for the second time. Newcastle demoralised.
Again, we've got this ball through the middle, flicked on. A good crossover by Stevie Heighway. No danger where he was going to put the ball. He took it in the bottom of the net where he wanted to. A good goal, good strike through the middle, a good run and a good finish. Exactly what we wanted to see.
A lovely glancing header by Toshack that laid it on for Heighway. Toshack having so much a better game in this cup final. Gibb is on, and it's Jim Smith who goes off.
That's a bit surprising, actually, because Terry is looking as if he's carrying that leg a little bit.
But Newcastle are left with a quarter of an hour. That's how it looked from behind the goal. McFaul just failing to get to it. Smith now for Liverpool. They must feel that it's really a question of coasting home now, as much as anyone can possibly do in a cup final, because Newcastle really have not done themselves justice this afternoon.
Although I'm black and white-eyed and I'm a Newcastle supporter, there's no danger about who should win this cup tie now.
Smith with a header. Now it's little Brian Hall, forward to Kevin Keegan. McDonald with the throw. Gibb is right up there, but Smith can turn it back.
This Liverpool defence have never been really under any pressure in this game. It's significant that Hughes has probably not broken sweat in this game. When he played against Macdonald, you expect to do that, and I don't think he has.
Hibbitt. And apart from one very anxious moment early on, Clemence has hardly had a shot to save. But here's Cassidy again now for Newcastle with McDermott outside him. Here's Hibbitt taking it up to try and keep the momentum going. There's McDonald on the far side. And that really was McDonald's first shot of the game.
That's probably the first time he's seen the ball in line with the goals. And like that fella said when he predicted what the score would be, that he would have a frustrating day, that must have been a bit more of frustration for Malcolm.
Moncur, who's going to be a very disappointed skipper. It's a throw once again to Liverpool. Nothing is going Newcastle's way. Tommy Smith brought down. Free kick. Brought down by Cassidy.
Tommy Smith actually is probably one of the most underrated fullbacks in this game at the moment. We haven't mentioned Tommy Smith. He's had a tremendous game.
Well, here he is with the cross again, Jack, towards Kevin Keegan. But now Hibbitt, whose brother won a winner's place with Wolves here in the League Cup final. It doesn't look as though it's going to be a family double, though. Kenny Hibbitt having won with Wolves. There's McDonald. Wide once again to McDermott. Gibb. Hughes again quite comfortably able to let that ball go over for a goal kick. That's the winning end, and that's the losing end.
Geordies take defeat very hard, you know. And they'll be very quiet back there. I hope they don't cause any trouble on the way home, but I don't think they will.
McDermott again. Goodness knows he's fought hard enough. Moncur high towards Malcolm McDonald, but this time Phil Thompson, a good defensive jump. And away there is Callaghan. And there is Keegan now. Moncur missed that one. Heighway's waiting, and Toshack's in the middle. Oh, and it just went flashing wide.
That was a tremendous move.
Here we are, Jack.
Good run. Unfortunately, Bobby just didn't see where the ball went, but the ball across goals for Kevin Keegan was a great ball. He didn't aim for the goals, he aimed for the space in front of it, and there was someone there just to knock it wide, and he was very unfortunate, John Toshack. He made a good run, a glancing shot, which unfortunately just went by the post, but a good effort.
As you see it from behind the goal.
When he plays the ball across, you'll see he deliberately played it across the face of the goal. Good run by John Toshack, and it could have really gone in the back of the net.
In fact, it was a tremendous run forward both by Toshack and Heighway. They both made a tremendous amount of ground to get up there to be in a position possibly to whack that one in.
This is one of the great strengths of Kevin Keegan, his ability to run and put people under pressure and to make them make mistakes, and then when he's made them make mistakes, to cash in on it. And there's nothing better to illustrate Kevin Keegan than that little movement there.
Fancy that fella's going to go up and pick up the cup, don't you, Emlyn Hughes?
Yes, I would think so. Emlyn's crazy horse, we call him, when we was with the England team.
Crazy horse?
But he hasn't played like a crazy horse today. He's played a very controlled, very well balanced game, and I'll be chuffed for Emlyn because he's a personal friend of mine. I'll be sorry for the Newcastle lads, but I'll be chuffed for Emlyn. Great lad.
Well, it looks as though Alan Kennedy is in a bit of trouble, and remember, of course, Newcastle have already got their substitute on, and they have less than 10 minutes now. Tommy Smith. It'll be a throw to Newcastle. Hibbitt with it to Tommy Gibb. Callaghan, so full of running. What a tremendous career he's had. Could well be now on the way to winning an FA Cup winners medal for the second time. Callaghan and Smith both in the Liverpool side that won it in 1965 against Leeds. Hibbitt again. There's the little dink cross, trying to get it towards McDermott, but Thompson, who's had a tremendous game, cutting it out once more for Liverpool. Hall now to Callaghan. Out of play once more. Liverpool aren't going to worry too much about that. Now it's MacDonald. Cassidy planting it forward again, but somehow that epitomises what Newcastle have been doing all afternoon. Promising a lot before this game and really achieving very little in it. Aimlessly going over for a goal kick. Keegan. Tremendous game Keegan's had. And look at that for a ball, played with the outside of the right boot, inch perfect here for Lindsay. Doesn't like that old right foot too much, Alec Lindsay, but there's Cormack planting it in with the right foot towards Keegan again. That time Moncur was watching him closely, and here's Frank Clark. Cassidy losing it again to Lindsay. Now this could be number 3, no!
I think Alec Lindsay expected somebody to come to the near post then when he played that ball. It was unfortunate they didn't, or it could have been number 3.
So here's Kennedy for Newcastle United. A high ball towards MacDonald. Stopped though by Thompson. Youngster has really watched him so well with Hughes. Oh, that didn't go for Newcastle either. So Callaghan can find Toshack. Back with Callaghan again. Thompson to Cormack, stabbed here to Lindsay, and that'll be played back for Hughes. Slowing it down, playing accurate, simple passes now with all the confidence in the world, Liverpool. Newcastle's throw. Here's Hibbitt. McDermott. Now Cassidy. 5 minutes to go. Clark. McDermott with the cross. MacDonald's on the far side. Moncur had gone right in there. Play on, says the referee, although it looked like a charge on Clemence, but he saw that Clemence had safely got the ball at the second go.
That was probably the only good cross Newcastle had put in, where they actually stretched Clemence to come and do something. But he was under tremendous pressure. Unfortunately for Newcastle, if he hadn't got the ball, I think he would have blown it for the free kick.
There's the ball now from Hibbitt to Tudor. Poor John Tudor really has not had a worthwhile touch of the ball all afternoon, after such a great season he's had with Newcastle and done so much to get them here. Cassidy now for Newcastle, and this time MacDonald's all right, and he's got it onto that left foot. Well, that sums up the whole afternoon for that man. I think the Liverpool crowd enjoyed that, Jackie.
Yeah, they did. It was unfortunate for Mac there, because when he took the ball, just as he went to hit it, it bobbled just in front of him.
but that was exactly the ball he'd been wanting all afternoon.
Yeah, those are the sort that you've got to play for, Mark, and it's the first time the ball has come quickly and let him run with. Just watch the ball as he takes it on, just as he's going to connect it, kicks up just there, just enough to make him go underneath the ball.
We've got an interloper on the field. A linesman is now dragging him off.
I hope he's a Liverpool fan. He looks like he is.
So it'll be a kick to Liverpool. Moncur. McDermott. Moncur, the great competitor, right up there, really not giving anything yet, although there are only 3 minutes left to try and forge something yet for his side. Clark. But they've had a miserable afternoon, Newcastle. They've got into a rut where nothing really has gone for them, and they've never really been able to get out of that rut. Hibbitt again with a throw. Gibb is right in there, trying to make something, but nothing will come out of it. And Cormack turns that away again for another Newcastle throw. Inside the last 3 minutes now. Gibb, a backward header. Clark hopeful of getting in there. Callaghan finally hooking it away, but only as far as Howard. And there's little Kevin Keegan again. Heighway is up there with him. That's the flick on for Heighway, but this time Kennedy had come back so well.
They do a lot of that, Liverpool, putting that ball in like that early and hoping somebody can run onto it. And they always have people with pace that can do it and get there.
Good ball by Callaghan to Hall. And there's Toshack lurking away on the right. It looks pretty safe for Liverpool now. Confidence is really oozing out of them now. Spraying it around. Nice, simple passes, but always accurate. So comforting to know you got a couple of goals in the bank with just a couple of minutes left. Kevin Keegan trying his tricks, and there's the floating cross again. Tommy Smith almost arrogantly putting it there for Brian Hall. Back again for Tommy Smith. Turned inside for Heighway. Playing it again for Smith. What a good move. Oh, and yes, it's there by Keegan. His second goal. And what a move that led to it.
We just said that Newcastle have not played with confidence on this offside trap. They tried to do it there and they didn't get away with it because they weren't confident in it. Great move by Tommy Smith. All the time went on and on and on. A good ball across the face of the box with pace, in among a lot of players. And Kevin Keegan there again, just to knock it over the line. A tremendous goal. How many's that? He's got 2 goals?
That's 2 goals he's got, Jack.
The way they're playing at the moment, he's got a chance of getting another one for his hat-trick.
Well, he's got 2 already, as I've said before. 3 years to the day that he joined Newcastle United for £35,000 from Scunthorpe, and nobody outside Scunthorpe had heard of him, and now everybody knows. Joined Liverpool from Scunthorpe, and everybody knows now about Kevin Keegan. And Celtic, we hear from Scotland, have won the Scottish Cup 3-0. We've got a 3-0 situation here, but Newcastle piling back, but Heighway coming right deep to get it away. On my watch now, we're in the last minute of the game. Down goes Macdonald, but nothing is given. Curled in once more. Toshack away. Clark in again. Give the substitute a backward header.
It says a lot for that last move there. There was no Newcastle players going in to challenge the back man. Tommy Smith made a mistake that could have cost them a goal.
So we're in injury time at the end of the game. Liverpool leading 3-0. Howard's header. Cormack coming in. Callaghan on the far side. Tommy Smith, who's had this tremendous game. The last 10 cup finals have all been decided by the odd goal. This one has given a clear advantage to Liverpool, 3-0.
Must be a terrible feeling at this moment for the Newcastle lads. They know they've lost the cup. It's all over for
Heighway.
them. Just a case of playing out time now.
And Hibbitt back for McFaul. Little Hibbitt full of running still after that injury in the first half, and still that competitive touch about his play, and McDermott as well, but it's all too late now for Newcastle. Lindsay, Toshack, Lindsay, but an offside decision again against the Liverpool number 3. So Liverpool, who narrowly failed in the League Championship, win the FA Cup. Kevin Keegan, 2 of the goals, the other one from Steve Heighway. A great day for Merseyside. Big Joe Harvey you can see in the middle there, the disappointed manager. Shankly in the middle there you could probably pick out as well. That's the scoreline. Liverpool 3, Newcastle 0, Keegan 2 and Heighway. Ensures European football again for Liverpool next season in the Cup Winners' Cup.
Everybody wants to know Kevin Keegan today now. All the photographers around him. He's done well. He's had a tremendous game. I think probably he's been the real upset for Newcastle today with his running and his competitive spirit. I felt they maybe could have picked him up a little bit better than they did, but he did tremendously well, and he's a hard player to pick up.
Chris Lawler, you can see the good, honest servant of Liverpool for so long, the substitute today. Ray Clemence, who really didn't have very much to do, but what he did with great assurance. Tommy Smith, back again in this Liverpool side and having a tremendous game for them at number 2. Ian Callaghan, what a week for him. Footballer of the year and now a cup winner too. Keegan. What a brilliant little player he's turned out to be. Phil Shankly congratulating each one of those Liverpool players. Finally coming to Kevin Keegan, the first time he's been able to say anything to him since the final whistle. And now Emlyn Hughes, one of the great professionals, leading such a professional side, Liverpool, up those famous Wembley steps to receive the cup from Her Royal Highness the Princess Anne, wearing a Liverpool scarf. Well, it might be a little too much to bear sometimes, but I'm sure Emlyn Hughes isn't in the least bit worried. I think he'd probably go through that every season, given the chance. Taking all sorts of souvenirs up there to the Royal Box. And what a smile. The smile, the clenched fist of victory. He looks so pleased. Emlyn Hughes and Liverpool.
Tremendous occasion for Emlyn. I'm delighted for him. There's no better professional in this business than Emlyn.
Look at the sheer joy on that man's face. What a tremendous smile from a great player, Emlyn Hughes. Royal Highness the Duke of Kent, the President of the Football Association there as well. Ray Clemence matching that Hughes smile. There's the man with the bobble hat who scored one of the goals, Steve Heighway. Little Brian Hall and Peter Cormack. Those smiles will stretch from here to Merseyside. Ian Callaghan, the Footballer of the Year, and Alec Lindsay too. The man who made all the difference though, Kevin Keegan, with 2 of those goals. Phil Thompson has got a Newcastle shirt on, but he's worn Liverpool's so well all afternoon. John Toshack and Chris Lawler. Bobby Moncur now so disappointed, leading up Newcastle. Her Royal Highness saying a few words when really, as I'm sure she as a competitor will understand, words really have no meaning when a side have been beaten as convincingly as Newcastle have this afternoon. Malcolm McDonald, who for him had such a disappointing day with none of the right sort of service. So poor old Terry McDermott, who ran and he ran and he ran, and ran nowhere in the end. Terry Hibbitt and Gordon Kew, the referee who gets a fee of £15.75 and a gold medal. The linesmen who get princely fees of £8 and a gold medal, but gold medals that they will treasure all their lives, and they did a good job today. The lap of honour now. I think the Sporting Geordies behind that left-hand goal, when Emlyn Hughes and Liverpool bring that cup around, will acknowledge that their heroes were beaten on the day by a better side. Sure, you probably could lip read Bill Shankly's words there facing the Liverpool, the Newcastle players. Bad luck, boys. Bill, the sportsman himself.
I'm sure Bill feels it for the lads as well. Look at him stood there. He looks as if he's miserable. He's lost the cup. It's only because he stood in front of the Newcastle lads, and he must know how they feel.
Well, normally they hoist captains on shoulders. They don't normally kneel down for the cameramen, but now we'll begin the lap of honour. The losers going round to the Geordie end of Wembley, led by their skipper Bobby Moncur. A great show of faith by those Newcastle supporters, but deep in their hearts they know the result was the right one. And even then, it's an apology really for a lap of honour. Bobby Moncur urging his teammates to wave to these bonny Newcastle supporters. This is where the smiles will be, and this is where the cheering will be, and this is where the waving will be. Well, the face of disappointment and frustration. Malcolm McDonald. Well, it's a lap of honour at breakneck speed as well. Have a few cameramen out of breath by the end of this afternoon.
It's a bit unfortunate that Newcastle have to stay on the field after they've lost the game. I know when I've played in cup finals, the first thing you want to do is get off. You don't even want to go and collect your medal. All you want to do is get off the field and get out of the way and leave it to the winners.
Well, here are men, Jackie, who'd be delighted to stay all night if you asked them to. Tommy Smith and his Liverpool team. Emlyn Hughes is up there, Ray Clemence is up there, and Kevin Keegan. Now they're coming to the Liverpool end. Deciding who shall have the next touch. Goes this time to Ian Callaghan.
It's an unfortunate thing that there's so many cameramen and pressmen and television men around the cup and the captain. The Liverpool supporters can't see it. I'm sure the Liverpool lads would want to just go there on their own and give them a wave and get the cheers from the cup, because that is a cup today. And they're really showing what Liverpool is all about and the people who support Liverpool.
roar comes up from the Wembley cop as Liverpool complete their lap of honour.
Well, with us here, the victorious Liverpool players and the disappointed Malcolm McDonald. Steve Heighway, scorer of the second goal, and a much happier goal than your last one here, Steve.
Yeah, it meant something this time, for a change.
And came at a time when you were still just the one ahead and really was the clincher.
Yeah, I think it was pretty tight up until the goal. You know, the second half, I think we got well on top.
And a really very good goal. You might like to have a look at it again. We might... well, you maybe won't see it, but I'm sure you'll remember it anyway.
I'll remember it, yeah. John Toshack did all the speed work.
And then once it came to you, still well tucked across into the corner there.
Until I see it, I won't even know what it was like.
But believe me, it was a very good goal. Well done, Steve. Yep. Big word from Malcolm McDonald, bravely coming along to talk, but you must be a very disappointed man, Malcolm.
Yeah, more so for our supporters than anybody else. I thought they were marvellous out there. But let's face it, Liverpool were the tops today.
They really did play well.
Oh, they were out of this world, and we just couldn't get started. Right from the start, they put the pressure on us. They kept going forward at us all the time. They kept finding the spaces. And they just walked all over us in the end, unfortunately, you know. And as I say, I'm just sorry for our supporters, who I thought were magnificent in defeat.
So what's left for you now? A lot of words to eat.
Just a very busy summer, I'm afraid. An extremely busy summer, and just have to look forward to the next season.
Hope you find some of the goals in the summer that you missed today, Malcolm. Thank you very much. Tommy Smith, Tommy, congratulations to you. You've been around here a few times now, but this presumably a very happy visit.
Oh, great, fabulous, yeah. Lads played brilliant, you know. Bit of a sticky first half, you know, getting going with a greasy pitch and that, but the second half, I think we just overran them.
How difficult, in fact, was that pitch?
First half, you know, it was, it had a stud hold, you know, great, but it was sort of wettish on top and everything was flying off it, you know, and it bounced a little bit extra high. And for the second half, it's, you know, the dam seems to have sort of...
Was it a great relief when Kevin's goal went in?
No, I think the great relief was when Alex went in and they disallowed it, you know, and then we thought, well, we've scored, you know, what we've got to do is put it in the net again, you know, because...
Right winger did all the damage.
You know, Alex sort of, it was a deadlock till then, really. I think we had a couple of chances, but Alex goal sort of, you know, got us going really, you know, and sort of put us on the road there, you know.
Well, a nice celebration ahead now, Tommy.
Oh, I hope so, yeah, I certainly hope so.
Well done anyway, and consolation to you for losing the league anyway. Well done, Tommy.
Thanks very much, thank you.
Ray, a fairly quiet afternoon for you, relatively?
Of course, when the lads play like that, there's no chance of me getting anything to do, is there?
I must say, you look as though you're a bit warm.
I think it's nervous perspiration and excitement at the end there. Oh, they played really well, didn't they? I mean, they pushed it around. We've been doing it in games all season. We haven't really got the credit for it. We played very similar to this up at Newcastle, but we just didn't score the goals. Today, I think we showed everybody how we can play it, and it's pure magic. It was magic to watch, anyway.
You certainly had a very good team. Bill Shankly, congratulations on a tremendous performance.
Yeah.
Absolutely no arguing about it, was there?
Oh no, I think that this team won the league last season, the cup this season, they'll win the league next season. That's emulating the team of 64, 65 and 66. I didn't say that we would beat Newcastle. I never said that at all. I said that we were the best team in England and it's possible for us to beat anybody in England and possibly anybody in the world.
You feel as though you proved it today?
I didn't say we would beat anybody. I said that we were capable of beating anybody in the world.
What did you think were the important factors in the game today, Bill?
Oh, Liverpool's cohesion, their spirit, their fitness, everything, you name it. We've got fantastic players here. I mean, they should win something every season.
Did you have thoughts before the game about MacDonald and Tudor, or did you let that take care of itself?
Well, they played against us this season at Newcastle, and we could have won 7-0 at Newcastle. I didn't think we gave them a kick at the ball at Newcastle, and the press wrote it down.
It looked, in fact, as though you had quite a lot of time when it actually came to it.
Yeah, well, Brian sort of was going to flick it, and then I shouted leave it. Had he flicked it, I couldn't have done anything about it, but as it happened, as it come through, I had plenty of time to do what really pick my spot. I didn't hit it as well as I had hoped, but...
well enough.
Yeah, well, I meant accurate-wise, you know. But
and a lovely build-up for the last one.